Mr. Rautjärvi just a moment ago said that some kind of development work with the practical issues needs to be done right now and started right now. Well, we are really trying to do it right now. This is one of the many projects what is going on in our area, but somehow this is also a pioneer project because in this forum these substances has been not negotiated so well through. My background is really, I'm really working on the shore. So even though we have the team from offshore to shoreline, I'm really the professional who is working on the shore. But at the moment, I'm running this project, which is really something to do with offshore, with maritime multi-sectoral accidents. I come to that a little bit later. So I think you are all very familiar with these figures. And if you are too familiar, so we can skip it, but just a few words to focus ourselves what is going on. So the challenges, of course, what we have here is increase in traffic. You all know that, and at the moment, just to give a clear picture to all of us, we have about 2,000 vessels on the sea all the time, 24 hours in a day. A little bit smaller number in winter time, but anyway, a big number of vessels. We have 100 to 200 accidents in commercial traffic per year, which is quite a lot. And these kind of accidents which are registered in commercial traffic, these are always involved a little bit bigger vessel. So it can be a small problem, or it can be a little bit bigger, or even a catastrophic, but something like that. And of course, heavy oil and chemical tanker traffic, and this is exactly loading the cross traffic what we have. From east to west going oil, chemicals, and from north to south going lots of passengers in front of many big cities. And this is of course increasing the risk of really bad accidents. So one thing also to really understand, we are all the people who we are living here in the coastal areas, we are used to use lots of boats and ferries. But really think about the situation sometimes when you are traveling. What is the thing what you are using there? At the moment, we have a car and passenger ferries with about 3,000 persons on board, and on the summertime we have cruisers which have 5,000 to 6,000 passengers on board coming to our sea area. So this is quite a big town in one place. This Allure of the Seas is the biggest cruiser in the world at the moment. Hopefully, or at least at this stage, it's not visiting our seas yet. But we can see that in future maybe it's possible. But if you think about it, that there is about 9,000 people on board. 9,000. There is 2,700 rooms. So it's quite a big town. And then when we add our, for example, the conditions in the wintertime, really cold environment, dark, almost impossible maybe to reach the accident scene and so on, and you have still the 9,000 people there on board, we are really in problems, of course. Everybody understands this.
So 10 times more than Estonia. When Estonia went down with 900,
yeah.
Now we can go down with 9,000. Same as what they are talking about in Philippines today.
Yeah, so exactly, even if we don't have any injured patients, we just have 9,000 people arriving somewhere. It's an issue. It's really a hassle to handle.
Cross the ice.
Yeah, of course. I said hard winter time and so on. So I want to give you some insights how the international cooperation is building up almost inevitable. It's almost inevitable that when we have such an accident, we have to cooperate. We can't do it because I can say that a little bit off the record, and there is not a nation among our area which have the capabilities to handle alone this kind of accident. We really need each other in some way or another. Well, here we are. This is in future. This is completely imaginary story, but just to give you an example how the how the need of the collaboration and cooperation is building up. This is maybe next year, let's say somewhere in next winter. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. We are in the middle of the Baltic Sea. It's -18. Is it cold or not? I don't know. Normally it's quite normal winter temperature here, but it's pretty cold, especially when it's 13 meters per second wind. Northeast wind, so the wind is going towards Finland about in this area. So maybe you locate the place, you can see Öland from there, so it's the coast of Sweden you can see, and we are just in the middle of the Baltic Sea. And then somehow an accident is happening. Let's say a ro-ro ship with 700 passengers and a coastal tanker is colliding. We don't know why, and it doesn't matter. And even we have a prevention work, and the prevention is the most important thing to do, of course. We have to remember that in the end of the day we have to be capable of handle this kind of accidents. And this is somehow easy to forget also when we are talking about the prevention. We can immediately see that the accident is happening in Polish sea rescue responsible area. The next sea rescue responsible area, excuse me, I'll just find a nice gadget from here. Yes, is Russia. Of course, it's Kaliningrad. This is quite a small area, but then the next one is Lithuania, of course. Here you have Germany, and of course you have Sweden here. When an accident like this is happening, this Maritime Rescue Coordinating Center from Poland, Guinea, is taking in charge of it, of course, and they are starting to handle it. And probably the first thing what they do there is to call their own resources. But now it just happens to be that the best helicopter what they can use is in Krakow, long way away. So they have to immediately alarm all assets available in the area from all countries. It's winter time and it's far away, so the only way to reach the scene is by helicopter, which is the most reasonable way. Because we see here the green arrow, this happens to be the only boat which is nearby in this stage. There's, of course, boats are probably vessels coming from this and this direction, but this is the nearest one because it's in the middle of the night, just in these days, and it happens to be that it's a Russian ro-ro boat. So in Poland, they immediately decide that, okay, this is the most convenient evacuation place for the people, and this is exactly what we have on the hands at the moment when the accident is happening, nothing else. So probably the evacuation is the primary evacuation place is this boat, which will be ordered to come to the accident place. Okay, remember under Russian flag, so it's Russian territory. Indeed, this boat. The accident is carried on, and because we had very good cooperation with Baltic Sea area countries, we have managed to get common procedures with maritime incident response and so on. So everything is running really well here. But because it's a coastal tanker, which is another part in the accident, there is an oil spill are developing fast. Immediately there is an oil spill in the sea, and the thing what you see here is economical zone of Sweden. This line here tells us who is in charge of oil spill recovery, and it's Sweden. Poland will be in charge of the accident and the management of the emergency, and Sweden will be in charge of the oil spill recovery. And because the wind direction is 30 meters northeast, quite soon the oil will arrive to Finnish economical zone, and then Finland will be in charge of the oil spill recovery. So I believe it's building up quite a lot international cooperation at the moment So, well, what's next? Now we have moved forward in the accident, and we have 700 evacuated people on board, let's say, on this Russian ro-ro vessel. And the vessel is heading to, let's say, Travemünde, Germany. In Germany, they are probably making preparations to take care of these 700 people. And if they have not done it, or if they are not going to prepare it, they just move the major accident from this place to another place. But they are not handling it. They are not doing anything. They just move it from the place to another. Then they have a mass accident in the Travemünde in the coming hours. In the 700 extra passengers, there are many hundreds without any IDs because they didn't get time to take them with them. So there are many hundreds of people arriving to Germany from the Russian territory without any IDs.
Do they have a proper clothing?
Maybe somebody don't have.
The minus 18 temperature and
yes,
the wind.
Yeah, it can be lots of serious injured people, hypothermic people, so on, of course. And then in the big picture, think about how much communication and how much inquiries from the telephones are coming for all authorities, from the relatives and from the media. It's incredible. So I think some kind of collaboration and common cooperation plans should be made also for this kind of incidents. We just heard from the HELCOM that there is a HELCOM manual for oil spill recoveries for the Baltic Sea area, and this is a good example of such a measure which is really helping us. And I think that in a major maritime accident, if we are talking about the incident response into the distress vessels and the authority work in the primary phase, we should do something like the HELCOM manual for the oil spill recoveries. That is one solution. Because we have many, in national level, there is many very good plans and preparations made, but as you know, the structure in each country is completely different, like you had just a moment ago told us, and that's why it makes quite challenging the cooperation in a real field of work. But we are just doing it. Finnish Border Guard headquarters has launched a project called Baltic Sea Maritime Incident Response Survey. And this project encompassing all the Baltic Sea area countries and Norway and Iceland, of course, because they are important partners for us. It's coming from the national funding from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it's about 9 months we have time to do it. We have a good substance expert groups in this project, and in a couple of weeks we are having a big international seminar in Helsinki, and I'm happy to say that we have all the other countries participating in this stage except Iceland. Sorry, Nanna, for that. But I'm as a project manager, I'm not forgetting Iceland for sure. And not letting them so easily skip this project, because we really like to have these people with us. They are important partners. But we have such an expert group working, and the seminar in 2 weeks is kind of kick-off for the whole project. So it's not the meaning for the whole project. It's only one tool to do it. And what we want to do is we want to start development work. We want to start conversation. We want to kick this kind of development on what Juha just a moment ago asked among this team of large-scale maritime incident, of course. This is the This is the main goal for us. We want to also a little bit share the best practices and give example of good, simple solutions for our area. So everything don't have to be so high level with international laws and so, which is really heavy and long way to do it. We have such systems as, for example, this ACO model, which is air coordinating model, which is a simple bilateral cooperation between Finland and Sweden, and this is a kind of a simple system for the helicopter pilots to run themselves the air coordinating things when they need it. And it's not an international law, it's not even international aviation regulations, but it's just a bilateral invention which is now implemented in all the countries, and they are using it all the time, and they have found that it's really good. And now the one really big problem for the helicopter flying, many helicopter flying in the same scene is solved out with that kind of simple method. And I think this is a really good example. And we just want to introduce some kind of similar standard operation protocols, for example, for maritime incident response groups, which are coming with these flying things full of firefighters, and then we can have an easier solution to make better this practical level cooperation.